My name is Rodger Harvey. I'm a professor in Ocean, Earth, and Atmospheric Sciences, and that's within the College of Sciences at the university. Most of my work has been all over the world, but most of the last 20 years I've spent most of my time working in the poles, and that means mostly the Arctic. Yeah, the Fulbright program, it's been around since after World War II. It was designed originally to encourage exchange, both scholarly exchange and intellectual exchange. And so there's a whole series of programs. I'm going to be actually visiting the University of Tromsø, which is part of one of the major universities in Norway, and it's very specialized in some respects because it's called the Arctic University of Norway. As an Arctic scientist, I'm going to be working with colleagues there and graduate students there to look at a specific part of the world that really I haven't looked at before. And the Fulbright program, sponsored by the State Department, is probably the premier program to be able to provide this exchange, both intellectual and cultural, so we can make some advances, promote mutual understanding, and help to make a place like the Arctic much more useful in terms of understanding the whole system, which is very interactive. So this Fulbright Award is a little different than a standard award. This one is a Distinguished Scholar Award, and in fact I'm going to be the Arctic Chair for Norway. This group of faculty and graduate students at the University of Tromsø, they are marine biologists, so they focus on organisms that live in sea ice. And as a chemist, I'm going to be characterizing some of those organisms that they pull out of ice and grow, and so we can then look at what happens to these organisms, how they adapt to sea ice, and if in fact we can predict where sea ice might have occurred in the past. The reason I think this Fulbright exchange will be really important is, one, is we're going to focus on sea ice. Sea ice is a major climate driver, and so if we understand both the history and perhaps the forecasting of sea ice, we can understand what drives climate at the poles and actually has impacts all the way through the lower part of the hemisphere. Being able to make some historical implications about sea ice can allow those models to get even better in terms of predicting how warm the atmosphere might be in the future, or maybe not so warm. The Fulbright exchange is really a platform, and it's a platform for ongoing exchange. The great thing about the Fulbright, and particularly in dealing with academic institutions, is that I'm going to be working not only with faculty but also graduate students at the Norwegian University. We've already talked about ways for them to come back and visit here so that we can take their biological expertise, bring here and train those graduate students in terms of the chemical kinds of measurements that we can do here, and we can kind of start that exchange and then keep it going. So it benefits everybody, both ODU in terms of bringing in expertise from international graduate students, benefits Tromsø in that we're bringing chemical expertise to them, and it benefits our educational exchange programs.